You've been hooked on fear. Here's how to switch to love. To start asking key questions, to start connecting into your body, connecting into your knowingness, your truth of what feels right for you, of what is true for you, and start paying attention to things that are trying to knock you off of your path, of your true essence. And that's what fear does. Yes, that's what fear does. Whoo-wee. So we're excited. We're excited you're here today to listen. And may you invite yourself to be a bit open-hearted and open-minded and be curious, if you can be curious. And notice notice even how you feel while you're listening to this talk. Woohoo! Yes, and then we get to invite you. There'll be an offering at the end that we can talk more about. That there are tools and there's ways that can greatly help you. And it's really super important to have these tools. You coming up even with your own ways that can help you greatly find your way. And that's going to be the biggest message that we give for you today. So recognize how fear might be controlling your life right now. How much are you reacting based on fear? And the more you can really start pinpointing this is going to help you greatly. Because you get the free will choice to reconnect back to your true self, back to your higher self. Ground in on the truth of who you are, and that is your love, your pure love. And we invite you for that. And that's exactly what we'll be doing today with you. Oh, so welcome, warm welcomes. So if you've ever been hooked on fear, you're not alone. We all have. We all agree to be born in the third dimension, which is the bit of the illusion of separation, where we actually believe or think it's a truth that we are actually disconnected. And which means we're in our own separate selves. We are human, we're separate selves. And we, many of us, didn't stay connected into our true essence of our spirit, our higher self, the connection with divinity, God source, all-knowingness, the field of all-knowingness. And in this lifetime, we are connecting back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And anyone listening to this talk, it means you are ready, which is really awesome. So would you like to live more from your love instead of from fear or those old habits, those old ways, those old reactions that were based on survival? And that's what you get to do for yourself. And we're forever grateful. Because I certainly was born in a lot of fear. So we all were. And I definitely signed up for it. Oh, heck yeah. I'm one of 12 kids. My dad was a Marine, Lieutenant Colonel Marine Corps. And he was a heavy drinker after coming back from Vietnam. And reflecting back on my childhood, my mom used denial, because that was her coping skill, to just act like everything's good and let's just not touch those emotions or touch what's really going on or be real. She just wasn't able to, and she did the best she could. I had a great mom. I'm thrilled with the mom I had. And she taught me a lot of contrast, which I'm grateful for too, that I choose not to be like that now. I did it too. I was in denial too, because I had a lot of fear energy that was operating my nervous system. I was running in a lot of fight flight reactions. And with our bodies, we have a nervous system, we have our hormonal system. And if your system believes there's a threat out there or you don't feel safe or secure, it will trigger those fight, flight, stress hormones. And many of us are chronically in that way. And the gift is you don't have to be like that. No, not anymore. Yeah, you can actually change it. Yes, you can. And we're going to guide you through it. It's going to be one breath at a time, one moment at a time, and one choice at a time. And you get to do this. Because for me, it was about 15 years ago when I started my spiritual awakening, and 10 years of woohoo, sky flying high. And I love it because I do operate from my love and from my connection with my divinity, my source consciousness and spirit. And then I'm human. I still have fears that will creep up or stressors that will happen. The gift comes in as you get to actually connect back to your sacred way within you, your connection with your divinity. And then that helps assist you, guide you, so you can dissolve that fear. Fear is just a signal. It's just a signal. It means you're off the mark. And there's a belief that you think something isn't safe or secure. You feel threatened. There we go. And there could be very true fearful things that are, and it could be a lifesaver, which is absolutely wonderful. It's just the question comes in is if it's very chronic or you're over reacting to a lot of things, being hyper vigilant or just guarded, your heart's closed off, any of those things, those are just signals that you're very disconnected and that the fear is what's operating everything. And it's just a wake-up call. You get to say, wow, I'm really sick of this. I want this to stop. Perfect. Yes, that's everything actually. And definitely we're going to be guiding you through of what you can do to shift and connect back, because you actually are love at the highest level, divinity consciousness, choosing to live and live in this experience here. That at any moment you can return back home, back to your heart center, back to your fullness and knowingness that can then guide you from your love, from harmony, from peace, from a flow energy, from a high vibration state. And that's what we're being called to do. We're here to master this, where we get to vibrate in a faster, higher way of being, instead of the contracted or scared, disconnected way of being. And you get to do this. Yes, you do. So we want to ask you, if you can ask yourself this question: what would change if, instead of being in fear, you begin to have your roots back into your love? What would change? Can you just let yourself imagine this? Just imagine what would change. And this is where your dream window gets to open up. Your heart gets to open, your dream window. Yes. Open up time for yourself for this, to ask this question, and you'll be amazed what can come in for you. Because the more you get that dream wheel spinning and connecting back to your heart's desires and asking these key questions of what can bring you the joy, the safety, the security, the peace. What are those things that would really help you right now? And get real about it. You already are connecting back to your love. It's so beautiful when you ask questions, because it is going to start moving you way on your sacred way, which is really awesome. Oh, I love it. So we're going to be exploring, how does fear hook into us, or be there, and we unconsciously don't even know it's there. Okay. And open up to the idea that love can heal you. Like, love is the cleansing, reconnection. It's the way for us to be in a new way again, be rebirth again. You get to do this. Okay. Woohoo. And there are simple ways that you can do this to connect back to your truth of who you are. And we love to guide you through it. So we're glad you're listening. Okay. So how does fear hook us? You might start getting curious about this. How would fear be hooking you right now? On a spiritual perspective, it is just, there was some type of an agreement, and you just obviously did it probably at a young age as a child, that then created these ways of being, these beliefs, these truths you thought were true, that things like this, like I'm not safe, or I'm not good enough, or I have to prove my worth, or earn my worth or safety. Things like that. We create these things in our mind in childhood, and they still operate throughout adulthood. And the gift is you can change these. You can rewire your brain, your mind, your old beliefs, your old truths, and you get to upgrade yourself to the truth of your heart. So you get to upgrade your spiritual perspective. So even going through this fears, or these hooks of these fears, it's actually all here for you. It's the human experience. And it's up to you in your readiness, and you deciding, you making a choice to reconnect again. And we welcome you to that. Okay. Common hooks that happen to us is, the fears of rejection, fears of abandonment, fears of betrayal, fears of just literally being hurt. A lot of us don't want to be hurt. So, and then what happens is we end up closing off our hearts, and then we operate from the mind, and the mind's operating. When the mind operates all the time, it's in a loop. The key comes in is get back to your heart again. Get back to what feels right for you. Get back to even just the stillness, the pause. Breathing is a beautiful way to help you with that. Grounding is huge with that. And there are mechanisms within your body that you can actually activate to help greatly assist you. We teach that in Find Your Sacred Way. So we'll talk more about that at the end of this talk, about how you can learn about Find Your Sacred Way. Woohoo! Because our spiritual team is the one bringing this to us, which means we are ready for it, which is really awesome. Yes, it is. And you might also have fears of not being enough, or that there's something wrong with you, or I have to earn things like that. Let yourself become aware of what these fears are. Open up some reflection time of what could these fears be that is like blocking me, limiting me, keeping me stuck. Because any of this is just a holding pattern that happens within us. And the gift is you can begin moving again. You can dissolve this fear, because it's just energy. Everything is just energy. And fear is just a contracted, distorted energy. So recognizing it and shifting it back to your love and expanding and rising above it is the gift that you get to do by choosing to operate from love instead of fear. And that's the biggest gift you can give yourself. Many of us will have a fear of uncertainty, the fear of the unknown, the fear of losing control. That can be really scary for some people, totally scary. And I've gone through that too. We each of us go through these things. And what I've been able to do is to rewrite how I would love to be, that now the unknown can be a curious time. It's infinite possibilities. And then I get to magnetize the highest timeline for me. So you get to become the director of your life instead of in a victim energy. Stand and connect and allow yourself to write it, to feel it, and to go experience it in a new way. Yeah. And sometimes fear can just be disguised as, oh, I'm just working really hard. I'm just a good worker, like a perfectionist syndrome, or people pleasing, that, hey, I'm just caring for other people. And I believe me, I was a great people pleaser. That's for sure. Oh, why? But how beautiful when I can actually, how about I please my own heart to what feels right, and then the overflow I get to give to others. So it's a different way to be, and we're being called to get back into that balance again. Sometimes you're overthinking in your mind a lot, of thinking all the scenarios, all the stuff. Let yourself pause, take a break, get back into your heart, back into feeling, Trusting's a huge one. Can you begin to trust your highest self, that you have a highest part of you that is connected with oneness, that is so desiring to flow the unconditional love and opportunities and beautifulness for you. So it's your ability to return back to your own self-love, and those are gateways of letting go and forgiveness, which are huge. And Find Your Sacred Way helps you greatly with that. That you get to have ways to finally let these things go. Finally forgive means you open your heart again, and with that, the energy will shift from that contracted energy of fear back to your love and your peace and your flow again. And you get to do this. Yes. Whew. So from a heart perspective of these hooks is that it ends up putting walls around our heart. And so we end up playing small, or not even hiding, not wanting to be seen, and just disconnected from fully living in the present moment. Now, many of us, our minds will go to the past or the fear of the future, and we're not even presently fully here. It's one of the biggest gifts you're going to be able to give yourself, moving through, returning back to your sacred way, is by being more present, and then just enjoying what you're doing at each moment. And because it's actually a miracle living here. It's such a gift being here. And when we get to dissolve any of that fears and activate up your love, you're going to be feeling a heck of a lot better. So that's the biggest gift that it gives you. Yes. So you can even close your eyes, connect into your heart, and then just ask yourself, where is fear showing up in my daily choices right now? Where is it limiting you, blocking you, taking you off your path, or doing things you don't want to do, things like that, even self-sabotage? Okay, the gift is you can make the change, and that's what we love to invite you to. So what is the cost of living hooked on fear? Yeah, that's being truthful, being real, is that it creates a disconnection from your higher self, from your spirit. You end up thinking you're just this human, or in the separateness, or you have to do everything yourself, or you're all alone even. That's the gift you get to transform and change. And you may get emotionally exhausted, like just tired all the time, or feeling overwhelmed, or it's just too much. Those are just signals. They're just signals that there might be some fear energy that is attempting to affect you. And you get to eventually thank it for showing up and transmute it and return back to your love in an even more higher, powerful way. And that's what we invite you to do. Because if you get into these loops of your thoughts, thinking the same stuff over and over and over again, it's only there because it's getting your attention. And then the sooner you can learn how to switch it into how you'd rather have it instead of that, that's one of the biggest gifts you give yourself. And then you get to upgrade that at the subconscious level of the mind. That's like the biggest change you can make. So find tools that help you with that. Find Your Sacred Way works wonderful for that. And you literally get to rewrite what's everything operating from within you, and what a gift that is. And if you feel any self-doubt, anxiety, they're just signals. And they're not real. They're just part of the cousins of fear. So when you can recognize it and call it out, you're going to be amazingly stepping forward into reconnecting back to your love. So the cost of living hooked on fears, you may have strained relationships. Maybe the relationships aren't going the way you want them to. And a lot of it's because of our own disconnection from our own self-love, and then we're not able to even connect with other people in loves because now there's like this barriers of fear. So you're going to be learning how to transmute that fear so you can reconnect back to your love for yourself, your love with divinity, and then love with others, so you can have more blossoming, growing, loving relationships. So beautiful. And you might feel stagnant or feel blocked or stuck, even spiritually, that you just feel like you can't move forward or you aren't able to blossom. And that's okay. That just means there might be some hooks of fears that you can eventually unhook of, which is awesome. And what we remind you to do is to be able to reframe it. Can you reframe fear? Can you say, this is simply just misplaced energy? It's just distorted energy. And you get to get yourself back into alignment again, back into your centeredness, and redirect yourself back to your love. Because you can do this. Yes, you can. And then even alchemize it, literally transmute that energy back to a higher state. And that's the gift, and that's how powerful you are, because you can. So we invite you to remember who you really are. The spiritual truth is you are divine love who chose to come to experience this human experience. You can reconnect back to your higher self connection again. And you're the one that gets to do it. This is your life, and it's in your timing. And you can, and it can be easier than what you think. And that's the gift, because it's just a decision. And being committed to it is important, and it's a daily practice, that's for sure. Even daily moments of that too. And you can, because you get to choose. And what a gift that is. Whew. And you can learn some heart-centered practices in ways that help you realign. Pausing is a big one. Just pause and breathe. Okay. And right now, we invite you to do that. So we're going to invite you to close your eyes and just pause and breathe. Breathing in your nose, holding gently at the top of your breath, releasing powerfully out. Placing your hand on your heart if you like. And begin by saying, I am love. I return to my truth. The power of words is amazing. You get to call this out. You get to return back to your truth. By choosing love in a moment of fear, it shifts your path. You just choose love instead of fear. That's what you're going to be able to become very good at, which is awesome. So I have a client, her name is Beth, that has been doing mighty work, and I love being a guide for her and assisting with her. She's a beautiful entrepreneur, and from the outside, it looks like she's got this beautiful life. But yet inside, she's feeling all kinds of anxieties, all kinds of uncertainties or self-doubt, to be able to fully launch of her gifts, and to be very, to be successful, to know she's making a difference, all of those pieces. And with working with me, she was able to realize these things were rooted in her childhood. She came from another country and then came over to America. There was a lot of fear-based survival mentality, and that's the gift that I was able to help her work through with herself using Find Your Sacred Way, that she was able to connect back to her sacred way within her, reactivate her heart center. She has a power center of her free will choice connecting to her divine will, and then her sacred center, which is a beautiful one that you get to shift those emotions back to your love, from fear to love, and activate what her truth about I am. Like, I am successful. I am a difference maker. I am love and light. All of these are so precious. And she's blossoming and doing amazing. And I'm so grateful that I get to help guide her through it, because it is nice when we can be great supports for each other and have tools that can greatly help people. And it's up to you if you want to learn some tools and to have easier ways or just very effective ways that can really help you transform any fears that come up. And a lot of them's coming up because they're all meant to be alchematized right now. It's like the demolition year. So more than ever are we feeling a heck of a lot more, and it appears like it's actually getting worse. And actually all it is for us to transmute it, us to rise and connect to our love and our truth. And that is the sacred gateway that each of us are being called for. So how do you switch from fear to love? Great question. Thanks for asking. The first is begin to notice it. Begin to be aware when you are reacting in fear instead of love. So catch those hooks, or call them out, admit it, claim it. Say, yeah, this is fear, and I'm done with this. I choose love instead. And that's the gateway you're going to be moving through. And then ground yourself. That's that pause, being still, get barefoot, be in Mother Nature, and breathe and ground. Receive all of her love that can help you, and return back to the present moment. and help you recognize what is it that your thoughts keep taking you off to, the fear of the past or the fear of the future or the fear of the worst things that could happen. They're just made up in the mind. That's all they are made up. And it hasn't even happened yet, but we have this fear that we're afraid it's going to happen. When you can catch it, excellent. And now you stand in your power to reconnect back to your love so that you get to operate from your love, operate from the thoughts of, oh, what's the positive things that can happen from this? How can this turn for good? And you get to turn things for good. Ooh, yes you do. Yes you do. So you're going to become aware. You're going to notice it, become aware, admit it. And you're going to ground and then reframe it, which means switch it to the positive. Let yourself begin to focus on what positively can happen, even from a yucky or a really harsh experience. Can you connect back to your love again, into your heart? Can you connect, open up to receive supports and help? A lot of us are kind of bad at that. And it's really great when we can, as much as we give, we can also receive. So receiving as much as we're giving. And then the flow begins to happen. And then begin in a new way. Take an inspired action. Begin in a new way. Begin some new change. Making that change lets yourself know, wow, I really can operate from my love. So like even this, slowing down, pausing, maybe not responding. So in fear, you might have run away, or you might have like stood up and started arguing with somebody or fighting, or you might have just frozen and hid, or you might have just morphed into others where you just kind of lose yourself. These are just the survival forms of reacting to the fight, flight response of fear. How about instead just pause and be and breathe and be curious and be like, wow, and feel whatever you're feeling. You can feel the fear for maybe a minute or two, breathing, releasing. And the next thing you know, you'll be like, wow, look at this. And then shift it into, how would I rather be instead of this? What is this here for me for? And I choose to connect back to my love again. Connect back to my heart and my knowingness and my truth. And that's what you get to do. Just so good. And it's not about perfection at all. This is a gentle transformation, a gentle way, a new way of being. And this is all new. Most of us have operated for fear for so long, it became a comfort zone. We didn't even know any different. But when we realize it doesn't feel good and we're kind of tired of it, huge, and that you really can be in a new way. And you might have people show up in your life that are joyful and peaceful and flowing and loving. And you might not even know what to do with them. You're like, why did they show up? Well, because they're there to help spark that in you, because they're showing up because you are that too. So welcome that in. Welcome them in your lives. Oh, and then let yourself rise. Connect in your love. Let yourself vibrate and feel in your love instead of the fear. So fear is definitely a hook, or it's definitely an illusion here, or we definitely think it's real here. It appears that it's powerful, and your love is way more powerful. Your reconnection is everything. It is the most power. Love is your true essence, and love is really who you are, not fear. Each moment is a new chance to choose love. So every moment, even the hard, yucky ones, is just a catapult for you to return back to your love. And this is what we invite you to do for yourself. So close your eyes and give yourself a blessing. May you gently release fear's grip and choose it. Say, I let you go. May you remember your wholeness, and may you enrich your life in the love you already are. Because you already are love. Isn't that awesome? Yay! All right, we're going to offer for you a closing connection. Meditation, you can call it whatever you like. I like to call it a closing connection. So close your eyes. Take 3 cleansing breaths. Nice breath in your nose, holding gently at the top, and fully releasing out your mouth. Do that 2 more times. 1 more time. And then invite this new intention. I unhook my fear. I return back to my love. Bring your awareness to your body and into your heart. Connect with your heart. This is your love. And with this power of your love, begin to notice, where are these hooks of fear? If you do feel fearful, where do you feel it in your body? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your bottom? Is it in your legs? Notice where you feel it. Is it in your shoulders? Find out where it might be. You can begin to send love to this area. Your body does still hold on to this, okay? You can admit it. Okay, so all right, so here's some fear here that I'm still holding on to, and I'm ready to let it go, which is so beautiful. And just imagine you can unhook it and just say, yep, I'm done with you. And release it out of your body. Just like a piece of thread, pulling it out of fabric. You're just going to pull it away. Easy as that. Super easy. Feel it soften. Feel your body soften. Taking a deep breath each time. releasing with your out breath each time. And now fill these areas with golden light energy, golden love and light. Because now you are reconnecting and turning back to your love and light. You can put your hands over your heart and say, I choose love now. Letting that golden light elixir light you up, expanding you, filling you. And now you can say, I am love. I am whole. I am free. Let yourself feel this. Become this. You are this. And when you're ready, we welcome you back to this room. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, open your eyes. And we just gently remind you, you can return to this at any moment. At any moment, you can say, I choose love now instead of fear. And say, fear, I'm done with you. Start standing up to it. And remembering who you are. You got this. Check my links below if you want to learn more about finding your sacred way. I'm launching by the end of October or early November a new self-paced course that will be fantastic for you. You can even check out just private, a taste of a private session with me. If you're welcome to my services, I would be thrilled to help assist you. Have a wonderful day.